Hello, everyone. How are you today?
Good, doctor.
Okay, good, good. Can we turn on the video first? All right, for just for the record, can you turn on the video?
Okay.
Okay. Right. We're still waiting some more. Okay. How are you today?
Yeah, fine, sir.
Good, good. Alhamdulillah. And now in Malaysia is a rainy season, so every afternoon until sometimes late night keep raining, and some places have problem with the connection, and just try your best and then try to get connected. Okay, I know this is a very very challenging time and very tough for us, and then especially attending or having online session like this. So again, try your best to get connected, and so that you won't miss anything. Okay. So how's the work going? I
I'm
saw
good, sir.
the Yeah, I saw the what was there, the personal reflection one, personal reflection two, and hopefully you can get the personal reflection one into and then you can start concentrating on the big one, yeah, the articles one. And for the personal reflection, I think I made comments on the first draft of personal reflection, and from that comments, I'm sure you can see. I mean, how to do the reflection assignments in the best way, and what need to be reflected, and then so this is what we mean. Some of like what I made comments about. uh, you are not reflecting your personal experiences. You're reflecting something general about the students, about the teachers. So actually, what we need to do in the personal reflection, that's why they call it personal reflection. So we have to reflect our personal reflection. Okay, so try our best, because in doing that activities, at least we can learn something about. The best way, the best part, like I said, by doing the reflection, at least we know what is really happening to ourselves during that particular time. And then when you do the bigger assignment, so at least you can um, do better, yeah, in a better way. And okay, I will try my best to review all the draft, and because at this moment everything is online, so even the Viva, the a proposal presentation, everything's online. So we have to, at this age especially, I would admit that, at this age, um, reviewing things on the screen like this is very tough for me. Yeah? Maybe not for you, yeah, but for me it's very tough. And if I spend like 2 hours reading the draft or the proposals or the thesis, so it really takes a lot of my energy. So I try my best, yeah, try to review all the draft, right? But of course, you have to always remind me, yeah, and so that I can keep in check, right? Because everything's all came at this same time, yeah? The proposals, the thesis, masters, PhD, not to mention the online classroom. Okay. Now, let me share with you today's lesson. So hopefully you can go on with this one. I've shared the class. Okay, you can see my screen, yeah? Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah. If you think that you want to turn off the video, is fine, and you can turn it off, and maybe you can save the data, your internet data. So I think it's up to you. Now I have uploaded the video, the recordings of our class, class 1, class 2, and today you're going to discuss about the biological components. I'm sure you have read this one, and right. I'm going to discuss this as an example, right? As an example. So, and then the rest, I will leave it to you to read. We have another two, not just biological components. We also have the cognitive components, and the other one is the learned components. Okay. So just give you some ideas about what is really happening. Now, when we talk about motivation, yeah, when we talk about motivation, I think you have read a lot of books and references, yeah, regarding the motivation theories. So one of the most interesting parts to be explored is the origins or the causes of action. Yeah, the origins or the causes of actions. So in 1938, long time ago, Murray mentioned about how to understand motivation, right? So he mentioned about needs. Everyone knows and everyone understands needs cause action, right? That's why if you look at two a different context of two different people, right? We have some sort of interesting situation. One question that always being in order to understand what is really happened. So they want to understand why two different people with the same needs, right? The same needs, like what you have now, the needs for online classroom. So but produces a different strength of energy, right? Different strength of energy. I mean, in this context, if we want to relate to our context, maybe what we can say, some does not really mind of stay online by turning on the video as well as the other materials recording by themselves. So many things. So, but some just listen. Some just many other kinds of actions. This is what we mean. Why people who have the same needs, but in producing the action it's always different from one person to another. So in this sense, Atkinson and Birch, later in 1978, mentioned about the needs. Yeah, but in this sense, they said that need is no longer conceptualized as direct causes of action, but as dispositions to action. That's why they said that needs provide the push, but not the energy and the direction. Okay, the push, but not the energy and the direction. So this come to a question, a question mark to many studies. Yeah, many studies, many psychologists, and many researchers. Okay, what is really actually happening, right? In reflecting why people behaving or acting in a different way, although they have the same needs in that situation. So people start to understand, try to learn, try to learn what is really the important parts, the important elements to understand these processes. Okay, so that's why they said needs. Yeah, needs is something that can be considered as a pushing factor. What you want at this moment, you want to eat, okay, you do something, you act or you do something in order to fulfill the needs. But what is really happening? What are the energy that influence us to do such a thing? Like, for example, although let's say we want to eat, okay, or we want to study. Now, at that moment, we choose a specific thing instead of others. Like eating, we don't take rice, but we take bread. So although the need is to eat, but now in order to push you to choose something or to select something, there must be something, right, underneath, underlying, that influence people in order to, I mean, in selecting specific behavior. So although again, like I said, we want to eat, we want to get something, we want to get food because we feel hungry. But in order to choose or to select, right, so from one option to another, so there are some processes or systems that really influence us to choose. To choose. The other systems or processes are classified. So that's why now many studies, the psychologists and the theories mention about specific systems, in human body, a specific system. So they identified at least three systems, yes, three systems or three processes. The first one is biological aspects, and then the second one is the learn aspects or learn components, and then the third one is the cognitive components. So those are the systems that they have identified that really influence people to do something, to choose or to select what kind of action, what kind of direction that they want to go or they want to choose. And so those are the things. So the researchers, the theories now identified, at least they can identify three systems or processes underlying the whole processes. Okay, this is how they conclude the understanding. So if we experience some need, right, we want to do something, we need something. At that moment, brain circuits are activated, right? The brain circuits, and slowly today we want to learn about the brain circuits. Some studies say brain circuits is the most intricate systems in the world, right? I mean, until now, people still in the process of understanding of the systems. And then the second one, after the brain circuits are activated, the learned responses are triggered. And then finally, we take control by making plans. So that's why when we refer to biological, so the biological system or processes, it's about how the brain circuits, right? Brain circuits to to do such a information processing, and then after the information being processed, and then the person try to understand what is really happening to him. At this moment, the learned responses are triggered. So they try to relate the previous understanding, previous knowledge, previous skills. So this is what they mean by learned responses. Okay. So everything that they have learned and then they're becoming a knowledge in the person or the skills, and they try to relate that the system, the brain system, try to relate with that systems, which is related to the information. And then after that, after the person have relate to the previous understanding, previous information, or previous skills, now what is happen next is how to take control by making plans. So at this moment, the cognitive components, the cognitive systems, the brain systems, right, and take control, and take action after they have concluded. So now, what is the action that I have to do? So those are the systems that connected one to another, that helping people, right, in doing things, choosing, selecting, everything. So those are the components that work together. If we fail in one types of components, so the system, the whole system will be malfunction. That's why sometimes we fail to make a good decision, we select a wrong decision, those kind of things. Okay, now we look at the components one by one. Right? Today we're going to focus on the biological component. Now, when we say about the biological components, so maybe you have studied the cognitive psychology. Anyone here have taken the cognitive psychology? No? You'll be taking next semester or what? Anyone? The cognitive psychology?
Yeah, I have daughter.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What, last semester? Yeah, last semester, I suppose.
No, this semester.
Oh, previous semester. Previous semester. Is that right? Is that right? Korea?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you relate to the previous course, like cognitive psychology, even the educational psychology, so you can see the connection between these components to the whole system, right? The whole system. I mean, a decision-making system. So what we can say, the biological components, is it's actually related to the structure and the design of the brain, right? The structure and the design of the brain. Right. What I can ask you, I will put up the um, one forum to discuss about the structure and the design of the brain, right? I'm not going to discuss in detail because we are not concentrating on the brain and the structure, but we want to learn how the components influence the decision-making processes, okay, in human life. So I will put up the forums for you to explore and to share about the structure and the design of the brain. So so look through the e-learning and see the forum. I expect that you can discuss about the anatomy as well as the physiological parts of human, right? Anatomy and the physiological parts of human. So how the anatomy and then in relation to the physiological parts of human, and then how it influenced to the human behavior. So I will put up the forum there, and then you can explore that. Okay. Now, what we can understand here in terms of biological components, right? We actually have an adapted mind. So you can look back to the theories, the theories are related theories that saying that the adapted mind, what we mean by adapted mind. We're talking about survival, okay? We're talking about survival. So we have the ability, the brain, and the brain have the ability to adapt, right? To adapt to the environment and to the requirement. This is in order to survive, right? To survive. That's why the human, the brain, have the ability to learn, right? To capture and then to process the information. So those are the um, the aspects that what we can say related to the adapted mind. So if we fail to adapt to the environment, so then you can experience that. So maybe you can recall to your personal experiences, right? If we fail to adapt or to adjust with the environment, so sometimes we feel awkward, right? Like for example, we attend the classroom, so the classroom was so active, right? So active in discussing topics in the specific subjects like the mathematics, right? So the classroom was so active. So if we fail to adapt and to adjust in our mind to adapt and then try to use our what we have learned, what we understand about that topics, so sometimes we feel misplaced, right? We feel misplaced and you know, we don't feel comfortable, right? We don't feel comfortable in that session because everyone was so active. So and then we are just so passive. So maybe we don't feel comfortable, and then at the end of the day, we wouldn't learn anything, right? We wouldn't learn anything, and then slowly that will affect to our motivation to learn about the subject. So that's what we mean by adapted mind, yeah. And then brain is made up of number of intelligent systems. So that's why I mentioned earlier. Some studies, the brain studies, a researcher mentioned about the terms to define the brain, yeah? The brain system. They mentioned about they consider brain system as the most intricate systems in the world. Right? That's what they mentioned because the system was so fragile, but at the same time, the system was so complex and sophisticated, right? The how the intelligent systems work together with the body, and then it has the ability to consider many things like body temperature. Okay, so if we feel heat on our body, like we have fever, what will happen to the whole system? We feel aching here, aching there. So that is the indicator telling us something is wrong, something is not right to our body. So that's how the systems works, right? To say to tell us that okay, and then slowly we learn, and then we adapt, and then try to understand the connection between many systems. Like I said, when you have fever, you feel the temperature is so high, right? 37.5. Now everyone was checking the temperature every day, every moment we go anywhere, you have to check your temperature. So 37.5, they know that 37.5 is considered as fever, right? It's considered as fever. So you have fever. But now, let's say you don't have the temperature device, right? Temperature device. So you don't know the temperature. You just feel uncomfortable, feeling hot. And sometimes you feel, sweating. Then heart rate is rise up, and then those are the things, the indicator. Now that's why people learn from the systems, and then finally they come to a conclusion. The indicator of having fever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So finally, now we can understand if we have this kind of symptoms, we know that we are now experiencing fever. Okay, but let's say we're experiencing a different fever, right? Different fever. So now when you have experiencing different fever like malaria, right? It's a fever as well. Dengue. Okay, so those are the categories of fever, but the different types of fever. But now people add, right, from the system, they add the indicator. Although the temperature is like this, you feel aching the whole body, and then you lost appetite, and then if we have different fever, like not normal fever, but we have a dengue fever, so now people start learning. Okay, slowly they learn the indicator created by the intelligence systems of the body. Okay, like red spots. Red spots, that's the indicator of the body, right? The red spots, and then um, aching on at the joints. So this kind of thing. So the body created indicators, and so that people can understand what is really happening to them. So this is the intelligence system that people really interested of studying. Okay, what we can understand here, what we can say about these adaptation processes of the brain, yeah, it's beyond time and place. Beyond time and place. So you can learn here and there. You can go somewhere. You can go anywhere, any parts of the world, but still the brain can survive. They can adjust. They can adapt. If you go to the if we want to consider in the medical approaches, yeah, medical context, you know that people in the medical, I know this because my daughter keep sharing with me about the medical studies. Yeah, she's a medical doctor now, so she shared with me about the her study. So when she's studying about the the effect of medicine, and then the effect of pathology. So she mentioned about the differences between skin colors, right? Skin colors, white, black, Caucasian, and Indian, Chinese, these kind of things. So she found out that some approaches, some medicines is applicable to this context, but not really applicable. Not to say not applicable at all, but not really applicable to this one. Not suitable for this one, but with this one, what we mean. So try to adapt with the needs, the environmental needs, and then the suitability, the appropriateness of the environment, and slowly people. That's why we say talking about the survival. To survive, the brain must work in this way. Yeah, the system must work in this way. Otherwise, it's really hard. So, like for example, if we go to the North Pole, right? In China, Korea, who else live in China now? So you live in the temperate countries, right? Where you have 4 seasons in a year. So during winter, you have autumn, you have spring, you have summer. So how people adapt to this kind of differences, yeah, changing in the climate. If when you are in the winter time, the climate is so cold, and then hardly to get sunrise, or during summer you will get sunrise, or you get sun the whole day, this kind of thing. So people will adapt to the requirement. So during winter, this is how we learn from the indicator created by the body to suit with the needs. So that's what the biological components systems work. And then 1999, Bach, he suggested about 2 complementary drives, self-preservation and preservation of the species. So those are the things that we mentioned earlier, talking about the survival, right? The survival of the species, the human being. So we need to be able to survive. Now we are facing tough challenges, COVID-19. So how we survive in that kind of challenges, the challenges situation. So if you check the what was that? The cases recorded by every countries, then you can see, right? But anyhow, people work hard trying to learn, right? Trying to adapt. How we can adapt to that kind of challenges, right? The threat of COVID-19. So that's why the body system, the body system created this kind of ability. So some people, that's why they said they slowly they understand the people at risk, like younger children and the older people, right? The older people, where the body system is, if the younger people, the body system is still developing, and then for the older people, the body system is decreasing. So that's the problem. So that's why like vulnerable groups of people. So you will find that if you go somewhere, the most of the rules and regulations saying that, okay, except these two groups of people, right? The younger children, small kids, and then the older people, because one, the body system still developing, and then the other one, the body system is decreasing. So we just mentioned about the middle parts. So that's why if you are at this stage, this stage, so the system will be different. So the way we respond to the requirement is also different, right? So maybe what we can say, the very good example is the current experiences in COVID-19. Any question? Okay. Now when in 2000, Rothbard, Hardy, and Evans mentioned about temperament, right? The temperament. So meaning that how we react to the world, yeah, how we react. This is the response that the body creates of adapting or adjusting to the environmental needs. Yeah? Environmental needs. Like I said, we live in the North Pole, so we have to adapt. How we can adapt that? Because the life is different there as compared to here, right? In the hot country like Malaysia or other hot countries, is different. So we need to adapt. Yeah, we need to adjust to the respond to the environmental demands. Yeah, so that we can survive. Again, we can survive. Okay, we were born with this predisposition. The good thing is, many studies have proven that we were born with this predisposition, yeah, to react in certain ways. The good thing is we have that for everyone except the handicapped, the unlucky. I'm not saying unlucky, but people with the special problems, yeah, like handicaps, mental illness, and so on. Other than that, everyone agreed that we were born with the predisposition. Just a matter of how we react, right? How we react to the environmental demands is different from one person to the other. At least we can understand why the reaction is different, right? From one person to the other. Why is it different? Because the way we think is different, the way we have been brought up is different, how we consider, how we process the information also different, right? Our preferences is different. So because everyone is unique to themselves, so that's why although everyone have the predisposition, all the skills, all the requirements, right? with the inborn ability. Everyone have the same thing, but the way we react, the way we use it, right, in our real life is different from one person to the other. So that's why we slowly we can understand this, yeah. But at least they identified, yeah, they identified three types of temperament, which have three factors. Now, according to them, yeah, according to those researchers, they mentioned about temperament has three factors. The first factor is disposition towards high activity, and then the second disposition is towards negativity, and then finally they find out that the ability to regulate attentions and behaviors. So those are three temperaments, the reaction, the human reaction in that differentiating from one person to another, right? Different person from one person to another. If we look to these factors, these three factors, then we can understand why people behaving differently. Okay, why people behaving differently? Like towards high activity, intense stimulation, taking risks. So not many people, right? Sometimes we need some sort of intense stimulation. Some people they don't need this, right? They already stimulated. They already, I mean, like you're already intense. You're already there. You're already in, right? You're already in, so that you don't need to further stimulate it by other factors, because you can stimulate yourself. But some people, they need to be pushed a little bit more. And then some people willing to take risk, right? Willing to take risk. Some people with those kind of consideration, they consider that taking risk is not a positive way of behaving, right? So maybe they choose safer way. So that's why the way they process, the way they understand, the way they consider the environment in a different way, finally producing different approaches, different types of behavior. The same way with the disposition towards negativity, fearful, sad, angry, frustrated. So some people, easily get dejected, straight frustrated, easily get angry, feeling so sad. But some people, they have a very strong feeling, strong feeling, not easily get distracted, not easily get frustrated, not easily get angry. They can control their mind, they can control their feelings. So this is what make people different from one person to the other. And then the third one, the third factor is ability to regulate attention and behaviors. Some can pay attention for long period of time, right? Long period of time. Some maybe a short period of time, and then it start going somewhere. The mind goes everywhere, right? Lingering around, and then some can also regulate specific behavior, right? Which means the effort, how we control the efforts. Okay, what types of behavior? Sometimes, if we like somebody that really well experienced, expert in the field, sometimes, you only take a very short period of time to select or to choose or to produce specific behavior. I mean, the appropriate behavior. Some still engage in trial and error. Yeah, trial and error. Maybe because of lack of experiences, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. So that make them, really put some efforts. Now, what you need to do, think of a person by using three temperament factors. Try to consider your friends. Yeah? Try to consider your friends. Looking at these three factors, how you can differentiate them. Yeah, like I said, the first one, disposition towards high activity. So by looking at this factor, you can see the differences. Some really, easily get intense. And some, no, you have to push. You have to push. right? Some willing to take risks, some don't. They scared or they feel fear to take risks. They take safer ways, safer decision, this kind of thing. So try to do that, and then in the towards negativity as well as the attention, right? Maybe you look back to your people around you, your friends. Yeah, try to find this situation to see the differences. Okay, can you do that? Right now, you see, I would say that having the online classes like this, we're not going to spend 1-2 hours, 3 hours, solid 3 hours. Yeah? It give you a headache. Yeah? So I structured this way, and then you can engage in the they call it self-regulated, self-regulated activities, and finding references and try to do some readings, and then in order to complete the task. At least now you have two. I will set up the what was that, the platform, forum platform to discuss this one. Yeah. Like I said, the anatomy and the physiology of human, right? The brain structure, right? Need to understand the brain structure. And then the other one is try to use these three factors in order to differentiate one person to another. Okay, so two things. So try to do that in the forum. Okay, any question? Any questions so far? So at least, you can do two things. The first one is try to recall your friends, people around you, or your environment, your past experiences. And then the second one is try to recall yourself as a person of the analysis, right? Try to learn from yourself in this. Like, for example, in this one, try to understand this. Why you have this kind of thinking? Why you have this kind of decision-making style? Or when you go on this one, maybe you can look into yourself about the high activity factors in terms of stimulation, in terms of risk-taking. So how you consider yourself? Are you somebody like a risk-taking person? Or are you someone that requires intense stimulation? So you can look back to yourself, because you know yourself better. Okay. In extending the understanding, in extending the understanding about this, the personality theories, they come up with the characteristics of a person, right? Like, for example, you can look back to the Big Five and then 16 PF. You can learn from there. Then you can learn. You can understand. In order to understand people, we can look into their personality. Their personality. Like 5 factors, Big Five, 5 factors. So they mentioned about extraversion, neuroticism, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness. So those characteristics or those traits can differentiate people in how to respond into the real situation or the environmental demands. Like if you look at I'm not going to go into detail this one because you will be having the personality subjects, right? Theories of personality. There's one subject that discussing about the personality, so you will explore more on that part. But anyhow, I will explain a bit about this one, like extraversion as compared to introversion. So this kind of characteristics, extraversion, somebody like outgoing person, or intro as opposition to introversion, more to introvert person. So having this kind of personality creates different types of behavior, right? like extraversion types of people, they willing, they don't mind to get along with others. They can easily get along with others. Anyone, you can go easily. But for introversion people, always looking inwards, right? Looking inwards. They, not to say they can't go along with others, but they're a little bit more selective, right? A bit more selective in going out or share some experience with other people. So sometimes they feel that those who are not really aligned to them, they will feel uncomfortable to share with. So those are kind of things. And then neuroticism, right? So this is related to the emotionality, okay? The emotion. So how we can manage our emotion. Some people consider themselves as like hard-headed, or they say like temperament person, or easily get sad, easily get angry, and so on. So how they manage, right? How they manage will determine, right? The stability of the emotion. And then the agreeableness. So this is also again how you get along with people. Sometimes, if you fail to see from other people's perspective, right? Other people's perspective, then you feel uncomfortable when you get along with people. So normally in the social life, so we have to give, and then at the same time we can take. So those are kind of characteristics that people actually try to develop, yeah, from time to time. So having said that, if we have like our generation, like our children, our students, so this kind of skills or personality that we have to develop amongst them, right? So that they become somebody like very stable, they can get along with others, not to say a versatile person. Now, conscientiousness, yeah, this is related to how uh, our attention to our activities, yeah. So, are we really somebody like rigid, yeah? Somebody like so just don't care, right? Just don't care about what is really happening. I don't mind anything. Oh, so this kind of situation. So maybe that will tells you, right, kinds of behavior that you will be producing. And then openness to experience. This is again how flexible we are to the environment, right? Because environment is a place for where we can learn. Because when we go somewhere, you will experiencing a different environment. You go somewhere else, you will experience in another types of environment. So this is what we mean. So we need to be able to experience in different kinds of experiences, right? And in order for us to be more versatile and flexible person. Otherwise, you just stay in your unique environment without looking from other perspective, from other kinds of experiences. This is really hard, but because we don't have this, it's really hard for us to learn, yeah, to learn something. Of course, when we talk about learning, we will be talking about learning something for betterment, right? For betterment. That's what we understand. Okay, Shitu. Hello,
Yes, sir.
Shitu. Yeah. Can you off your mic, please? Because it's a little bit,
Okay, sir.
disturbing.
Maybe I will change environment. Where I am is a church.
Yeah, I know. So just turn off your mic, please. Turn off your mic so that it won't disturb the sound of the session. All right then, excellent. Okay, Chitu, are you first time in this class or what? Itu, are you first time in this class? Hello, Shitu.
Yes, sir. Second time, sir.
Are you first time in this class?
No, sir. This is not first time.
No, not the first time. I see,
Yes,
I
sir.
see. Sorry. What program are you doing, Shitu, if I may ask?
Sir?
Yeah, what program are you doing? You're PhD or
PhD,
master?
sir.
PhD.
PhD. Yes, sir.
Yeah, why did you take this course?
This very one?
This one. We're talking about this course, the course that you're attending now. Why did you take this? Well, your supervisor asked you to take this or what? Sorry?
This particular topic, it's now I'm doing it.
I see.
This particular topic, I'm just doing it today.
No, I mean you registered this course or what?
Well, I thought it's part of the research method.
Oh no. No. This is MPPU 1323. Hey, what is
Okay,
our code? Itu?
sir?
Yeah, this is for the theories of motivation. Yeah, theories of motivation.
Okay, this is not for me then. Thank
But
you, sir.
if you want to join, it's fine. Just to gain knowledge, it's fine. To me, it's fine.
Except that maybe I will enter church now till I wait for my own class.
All right. Okay then. Have a nice day.
Sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now those are the personality theories. Yeah, personality theories. We mentioned about how to understand the differences of a person by looking at the characteristics. Then we can slowly understand why they're behaving in different way. And then personality factors are also influence the individual differences. Like I said, you know, the skills or the characteristics or the traits actually, some studies say that some personality theories mentioned about the inborn disposition. Yeah, the inborn disposition. Everyone were born with this kind of characteristics or these kind of traits. So what they need to do is how to use the traits. So that's why how to use in order to learn how to use the traits in our daily life. That's why they call it learning, right? The learning processes. So they learn many things. They learn subjects while learning in the classroom. They learn about the social relationships. Actually, try to enhance, right, the inborn ability and the traits that they were born with, so that they can become an effective person. McRae in 2000 mentioned about parenting, right? How parents can assist in the children's development, right? He mentioned about parenting, how we educate the children, how we learn, how we teach the children. This is actually the requirement or the needs for the children, right? Because they need to learn, and then at the same time they need guidance. Okay, they need guidance. The parenting help children learn how to best deal with the world. So they really need us, right? They really need us in order to understand the world around them, how to live in this world. So they learn about subject, they learn about certain skills like cooking, like eating, everything. They learn from us, right? We have to teach them, we have to educate them. And of course, by teaching them, not to say teaching by eating, but also a related aspect. Like, for example, when we eat, we have some sort of ethical consideration. You know, when we just teach them eating is something you do, like you take some food and then put in your mouth without linking the context into the ethical consideration, like social life, which is very, very difficult for the children to learn, because maybe one day they just eat in the bathroom, right? While pooping, they just eat because that's what they learn from the adult, when from the parents. They said, meaning eating means putting food into your mouth and then eat. That's it, without linking with other perspectives. So at this moment, our function is crucial, right? Our function is crucial. All right. So again, talking about the biological, and then now, this is what I want you to do, right? Like brain circuits, brain structure. Try to look at the brain from the anatomy perspective, and then the brain from the physiological perspective, and slowly you can relate to this one. Yeah. Okay. Now, in 1982, Gray suggested there are two distinct brain circuits, right? Two distinct brain circuits. He mentioned about arousal is important for maximizing attention and information processing, right? If I may write like this, okay, let me share with you. Sorry. Right, let me find for you. All right, now can you just Google this? Hang on. Now look at this one, yeah, information processing. Actually, now is very good. Yeah, you can check, you can find any information easily. Yeah, it's on your fingertips only. Come on, the internet. Okay, come on. All right. Now, like this one, yeah, the information processing. I think you will find this when you learn about cognitive. You learn in the cognitive psychology. Yeah. Now, when we talk about information processing, these are the concepts, the very simple concepts, right? By Atkinson, they mentioned about this one, the information processing. How, if we want to relate to this one, yeah, hang on. How we want to relate to the brain circuits, right? So look at this one. So how we process information in our mind, right? Like, for example, the stimulus. When we mention about stimulus, like now, I speak to you, right? I deliver my lesson. That is the stimulus. So in your sense, in your perspective, that is the stimulus. You listen, and then if you can see the video, you can see me talking. So that is the stimulus that you receive at this moment. And then when you receive that information, you start to bring that insight to the mind. You know, in order to bring it to the mind, to the brain, you know, the brain can't do anything, right? The brain can't do anything. So they call it receptor. Receptor. What are the receptor of the information now? The first one, the receptor is hearing. Okay, listening. That is the receptor. And then the second one, if you can see, is seeing, right? The view that you can see. So that is the receptor. So these receptors accept or receive the information. If listening, hearing, the types of information is sound. Okay, sound. Me talking to you. But if the view is the image, right? The image. So you imagine, let's say the eyes and the ear. So this one, there is this receptor receive images, right? Images, and then this one is sounds. So this sounds and then the images received by the eyes and the ears will be transmit to the brain through the system, right? And they call it circuits. So the nerves bring it inside to the brain, and then when the brain receives that, they start processing. Okay, they start processing to process it. Okay, what we see, oh, these, and then relate to the what we hear at the same time. So combine them together, and then in order to understand this, so we call back the previous information. So this is what really happening if we look from the information processing model. Okay, information processing models. So if you look at this one, Gray suggested behavioral activation system, and then the other one, the other circuits is behavioral inhibition system. So two distinct brain circuits, right? Two distinct brain circuits. The first one is activation system, and then the second one is the inhibition system. The activation system is activated by conditioned signals of rewards and non-punishment. So look at to the words, right? Look at to the words. Rewards and non-punishment. When activated, arousal is enhanced. So promote increased approach behavior. So we start considering what kind of behavior. We start considering to produce specific type of behavior because the signals of rewards and non-punishment. So we know that if we do this, we can get something in return. Reward, money, understanding. So that is the system, the brain have. They call it behavioral activation system. So when we see signals as rewards and non-punishment, happiness, understanding, when we learn in the classroom, oh, I can know many things, I can do maths, I can do calculation, that is considered as rewards. Then the activated arousal is enhanced. When it enhanced, then we can start considering to do or to engage in the activity. That's why they call it behavioral activation system. The other circuits have a different way, because the brain look to the system as the signals of punishment and non-reward. Okay, if this arousal is activated, right, and then we try to not to behave, right, try not to do anything, because when we look into this perspective, we know that if we do this, we get punished. We didn't get anything. Maybe the negative experiences will be the results of the behavior. So the behavior will be inhibited, right? Will be inhibited. In other words, we don't do anything. We stop doing things. So that's why two different things. The first one, when the condition, when the signals that we receive, that the brain receive is considered as reward and non-punishment, we start to consider, right, to engage in the activity. But on the other side, the other circuits, if the brain see the signals as punishment and non-rewards, so we will consider not to engage in the activity. Right? Two different approach of the brain circuits. Any question? Right? Slowly this afternoon we'll learn about the how the brains work. Okay. And then no, you see, um, the studies on the brain, yeah, the studies on the brain until now. See why people have the studies on brains, even the cognitive psychology is still improving. Try to find the best way. Like now, like scanning machine, yeah, scanning machine. We have what? So many scanning machine, PET scan, MRI, right? Why we have that? Because we want to learn the systems that happening in the mind. So it's really hard. Not like something like physical things that you can see. Okay, if you cut through the hand, you will see the blood flows, right? It's physically you can see that, but the brain, how you process the information cannot be seen. How you store your information, how you store your knowledge. Is it this part, that part, the back, the front? So those are the things that make people so interested of studying the brain, right? I'm not considering. I'm discussing the brain in detail, but more to the circuits and the activity, how it really affects to the human in terms of producing such behavior. Yeah, again, because we want to understand what's really happening biologically in ourselves that can influence us to do something. Okay, this is related to the first one, the this one that we mentioned, behavioral activation systems and behavioral inhibition system. So looking at the pathways, this way, that way, both ways. So those kind of things, and then the most important here is try to understand why, right? Why we choose or we select a specific behavior instead of others. Okay. Now we mentioned about the reinforcement. If you look back to the educational psychology, these parts mentioned about reinforcement, right? Punishment, no, negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, punishment, those kind of things, right? People start learning. Okay, start learning because, like I said, if I go back to this one, yeah, the biological the components of the systems, yeah, biological, learn, and cognitive, it goes together hand in hand, right? The biological system creating indicators and then taken by the brain to understand and keep the information in the mind, and then slowly they learn, and then by looking at this, and then slowly the cognitive, how people considering about thinking or using the information, right? So those are the components that work together hand in hand, yeah, in order to help people live in this world, right? Live in this world, otherwise it's really hard, yeah? Sometimes, that's why you find people so distant, and then not easily get along, right? So those are sometimes the way we make use of those components, learn and then try to improve, try to develop, and then try to enhance, so that we becoming a sophisticated human being, sophisticated human being. Okay. Have you ever been experiencing the mind got stuck or overloaded? Have you ever experiencing that? Anybody? Experiencing of overloaded information, or you can't take anymore. Your brains look like to explode. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's why I mean if we consider, right, if we consider one way, like absorbing, right, absorbing information, we will come to that stage. Yeah? That's why educating or teaching children is not something like transferring the knowledge or conveying the messages or transferring the information from one person to another, but it is more to understand. That's why they call it understanding of the knowledge, because the way we structure our mind, the way we structure our information in our mind is different from one person to another. Some people can easily recall numbers, and some people can easily recall by looking at the faces. So how we structure the information is different and unique, so that we in other words, what we can say, we cannot find someone that is similar even to our children or to our siblings. We can't find it similar. Okay. What we can say is the commonalities, the common patterns, only in a different forms, like similar patterns, but in okay. Now, let's see what we have. This and then. Now we start talking about the structure of the brains. Try to look at the one that I mentioned, the anatomy of the brain, and then the physiological of the brains, and slowly you will learn about these concepts, the plasticity, the department of the brain. You will learn about the cortex, cortical of the brain, and then you will learn about the neurotransmitter and why the transmitter, the receptors, or the cells of the brain is very, very critical in this way. And like if you look at the neurotransmitters systems, just like interlocking bricks, when you transmit one information to the other, it's actually the interaction between cells to cells, interaction between cells to cells. So how the information being transmitted is very, very important, right? Like, for example, these cells, like, say, for example, from this way, right? From this way. Cell A receive information that need to be transmitted to another cells on this site. So what most important is this cell need to be able to identify the right cell on this site, right? You cannot just simply trial and error. Oh, this cell, oh no, this is the wrong one, choose the other one. We don't do that. That's why from the learning processes, from the experiences, the cell able to identify the right cell to be transmitted. So that's what we mean. So that's why if you look at the advertisement, and sometimes when they imagine of the brain, it's like sparking connection between cells in the brain, right? So that is how the electricity happening in the brain. When we do some sort of scanning, the brain scan using MRI or other types of scanning machine to learn about the brain activity, so people will look to because the more active the cells, the more oxygen they require, right? The more oxygen they require. So then when they scan, they can see the sites where the oxygen is located more. Like, for example, that's why some studies say about the hemispheric brain theory. If you want to consider like mathematical, so you go to the left. So because normally they said that the left brain dealing more on the arithmetic, mathematical, and in logical thinking. But they said that whereas on the right hemispheric dealing with the abstract thinkings, everything. So this is how people come up with the understanding, right? By looking at the activity of the brain. When they give the to a person, like for example, some activity like mathematical problem solving. So they give them the person to solve the problems. When they scan the brain while solving the mathematical problem, they find out that the left brain, I mean the oxygen, which is the blood flows, the blood flows in the brain converge more on the left. Then that's why they come up with some theory saying that logical, mathematical, arithmetic dealing with the left brain. Whereas when they give them to use poetic exercises, the right brain active more than the left brain. So that's how far so far that people can understand about the brain activity, because until now they cannot just simply cut the skull and then look from their bare eyes looking at the brain, how the brains work. People will die. Nobody willing to volunteer on that kind of study, right? Okay, so slowly you learn about that, and then this is the drug reduction theory by Hull. So again, this is how we relate that one. Yeah? How we relate that one between the systems that happening in the body. So actually, we try to reduce, right? To reduce the what so called uncomfortness. Yeah. Sometimes if you look from the this cognitive dissonance theory. So maybe you have looked to the cognitive dissonance theory. Cognitive dissonance theory also related to this drive reduction theory. So because we want to keep balance in the mind, that's why they have the concepts of homeostasis. So because when you in the uncertainties, right, you don't feel comfortable in the mind, so you're still thinking, what is that? I think something wrong with that. I don't know what is that. So that is the cognitive dissonance. Yeah, you know why? Because there is a mismatch between what we understand with what we experience now. So mismatch that created disequilibrium or dissonance in the mind, right? Dissonance in the mind. So the system will help people to to keep the balance, right? From discomfortness in the mind. Oh, I don't know how to do. What I learn is something like this, but this one is a little bit different. Those comfortness will be reduced by certain behavior. Oh, I need to look on this one. So that's why I said those three components really work together in order for us, in order to help us keeping the balance, right? So to feel comfortable again, back to normal. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I'll ask my friend. So those kind of action, okay, I'll ask my friend. That's kind of behavior that you look for. All right, I will ask my friend, and then your friend start teaching you how to do that. Oh, all right. Now I know to do this. So your discomfortness becoming normal now, right? Back to normal. So this situation keep on happening throughout our life, right? Throughout our life. In teaching in the classroom, right? Teaching in the classroom, this situation always happen, especially when you learn a new topics, right? New topics. So that's why in teaching, normally the teachers will be advised to use the what so called the preconceived ideas, right? The previous knowledge, related to the new topics to be teach. So in order to help the students understand the topics better, so we have to relate with their previous understanding, which is related to the topic, of course. So then they can see the connection. So becoming this one, yeah, at least we can understand although the problem is experiencing by the person, but of course, from help and assistance from others, this can be solved. Okay, so the motivation in this sense is to keep the balance, all right, to bring back the balance from uncomfortness, some uncertainties, not really get the ideas. The motivation arise from this situation, right? From this situation. So that's why they call it drive reduction theory. Try to reduce the tension, right? Try to reduce the tension between uncertainties. When we come back to normal, then we feel happy. Oh, okay, I know now. Something like that. Okay. So when you go to the drive reduction theory, these are the processes. Okay, trying to create or to reduce the unpleasant state. They call it unpleasant state in the mind. Unpleasant states in the mind. So we don't feel comfortable. So you will work towards it in order to bring back the balance so that you can feel pleasant, happy because of the understanding. Okay. Any question? So in this sense, what we can say, according to Hall, human behavior could be explained by conditioning and reinforcement. This is also related to the behaviorism. Behaviorism, how they see conditioning. We can train our children. We can train our students. And then don't forget the components or the elements of reinforcement. Why reinforcement? Because of that. Because of by having the reinforcement, the person will learn. The person will learn. Now, see, according to Hall, he mentioned about the reduction of the drive acts as reinforcement, right? Increases the likelihood that the same behavior will occur again. So this is how people motivate themselves, like quickly and adapt to the environment faster and precise through this process of learning. Okay, so let's say, for example, now because of those uncertainties, so I ask my friend to do this exercise because I don't know. So when I feel I don't know, it depends. So how we consider that. See, activation behavior and inhibition behavior, how we look to that perspective, finishing the exercises. If something that you don't know how to do, but how we consider that based on those perspective. If the activation behavior, so we will see that if we finish these exercises, oh, I think I can teach other people as well, something like that. So it's kind of rewards to us. But if we see this, if I do this, I don't see any particular reason I need to do it because I'm not going to use this in my real life. So what's the point of me doing this? So you don't do anything. But of course, the discrepancies, the unpleasant situation remains. So that's what we don't want to happen. Okay. This is what I mentioned earlier: the stimulus and response relationships, S and R. Look back to the behaviorism theory, learning theory, behaviorism learning theory. Then you can understand the relationships, stimulus and response relationships. Any question? I think I'm going to stop there, and I need you to read through this one, and I'll give you some exercises. Give you some exercises, and for you to complete this topic, the biological components topic. Any question?
Doctor,
State, yeah.
may I know when is the submission for reflection 1 and 2?
I think it's stated in the, what was that? The hang on. The guidelines, I suppose. Hang on. Oh, maybe in this one. Yeah. Did I mention anything about the submission date?
No, doctor.
No, doctor.
Okay, looking at the cost information, yeah, cost information. Then you see there, you have to. This is some changes, yeah. We don't have this one anymore, like presentation. But for this one, maybe we like this one, the final exam. We don't have the final exam as the traditional way, yeah, the traditional way. So that's why the what was that? The assignment consists of this one. I will share with you the deadline for the submission. Yeah, I think I mentioned somewhere, but I forgot where. But anyhow, I will share with you, yeah, the submission date. Okay. Thanks for asking.
One more thing, Doctor. For group
Yeah.
task, can assign a group.
Sorry, say again.
For group tasks, we
Mm-hmm.
can assign our own group mate.
I would suggest like we follow the requirement, like consists of 3 persons, and then something like this, and then you know, in other words, yeah, of course you can, but try not to choose only your close friend, if I may say that. Right, so maybe you can consider about the same interest. You what you are interested in, so maybe you can find, or you can share, so that you can identify who's going to be your group member. All right.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Okay, I think I will stop there, and don't forget, like I said, try to finish reading this one. Yeah, these 3. The biological components, the cognitive components, and learn components. And when we discuss that, I wish that more question will be asked and more question will be shared in the session, especially by providing the actual examples, right? Your personal examples, so that you can understand the concepts better. All right. So for now, I think you can start off thinking of this one, yeah. Right. Maybe you can start forming the group, and then decide who, and then you can start working, identifying the issues, and then start drafting, yeah, what need to be included. Okay, included. If you look back to the format, yeah, actually it is closely related to the personal reflection 1 and 2. Yeah, how you discuss, how you explain the incidents or the behavior, and then how you connect that to theoretical perspective. So it is more likely quite similar exercises, yeah, But now what you need to do is try to identify the teaching and learning activities in the clear sense, motivational problems, right? Motivational problem, the real situation. Now maybe could be related to your personal experiences, but it is more to looking at the motivational perspective in the teaching and learning activities as a whole, right? As a whole. That's why I said it could be related to your personal experiences. It could be related to your friends' personal experiences, but this is more looking at the teaching and learning activities in the general terms. Right? Try to figure out what are the related motivational issues, underpinnings. Okay. All right then. So before we stop the session, let me share with you again. No. Okay. What is the time now? 5. Okay. Log in now. Okay, scan your attendance. Anyone have problems to scan? Five. 4 more. Okay, 2 more. Another 2 minutes before we close. Who else? Muhammad Saleh.
I already screenshot. Wait.
That normally your name is not here. Who else? Okay. It's supposed to be 9. We have Aisha, we have Raihan. Nini? Who is Nini? Any problem? Saleh?
Okay, done, doctor.
Okay. Who else? One more. Nini. Who's Nini? Is Nini here? Nini Palal. Nini? Hello, Nini. Oh, you just turn on, but and then missing, Nini. Okay then. She might be somewhere.
Yes, doctor. I'm here.
Where are you? Your name is here? Have you signed the attendance? No?
What is it, doctor?
The attendance, your attendance.
Not yet.
Then, where are you? Where were you?
I'm with my kids. Okay, I'll check the attendance.
What, you with your children? Hey. All right, quick. Okay, 1 more minute. If not, so we close. And are you following the lessons, Nini? Or
Yes,
you
doctor.
you just busy with your children?
Between these two things, these two tasks, your class and also my kid. Sorry, doctor. Wait, I need to scan.
Okay, any question, guys?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I want to know whether you accept my reflection too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the reflection. Yeah, that's why I told you in the earlier class, earlier session, earlier parts.
Okay.
I'll try my best to review the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do my best to review the draft, and because now try to find time to manage my time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
So
doctor.
many. Yeah, sure. So many things come at the same time. So that's the problem.
Okay.
All right, you guys just take care, and because now we still under the threat of COVID-19, and hopefully we can get through this hard situation without any problems, and may Allah give us strength to face this tough condition, right? And what I can say, take care, and try to follow every single SOP as mentioned. And what the most important is, how we can take this as a lesson to motivate ourselves in our daily activity, right? So take care, everyone. So I will update with the tasks and the activities in the e-learning. Yeah? Always check the e-learning because that's for now the only way or the only platform that you can engage all the time, including the WhatsApp group. Yeah? WhatsApp group. All right, guys. So thank you very much for your time, and see you again.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
Thanks, doctor.